We are adding another row to my blanket. This one's for The Temporary Roomie by Sarah Adams. So let's go ahead and jump into the review. Jesse and Drew are mortal enemies, and they have been since before they even met. Through prank wars and snippy banter, the two fall into an unlikely friendship. But as Jessie spends more and more time with Drew, she finds herself letting her walls down and showing him there's more to her than just the snark. Here's the thing though, Jessie's character absolutely grated on my nerves for 85% of the book. She's genuinely god awful to Drew, and it was very difficult for me to understand why they ended up together. I genuinely don't think that they're going to go down in history as one of my favorite duos of all time, and so for that reason, characters were a 6 out of 10. In writing this book, I think that Sarah Adams was going for the tension between the two characters to be a nice, slow build to the relationship. But for some reason, I felt pretty uncomfortable for the vast majority of this book. There's a prank that Jessie pulls on Drew midway through the book that is so mean spirited. I felt like really uncomfortable reading it. Also, of note, I didn't register until down near the end of the book that it's set in Nashville, so I would say overall it's not the strongest representation of atmosphere, and so for that, 5 out of 10. It's going to pain me to say this because I genuinely love Sarah Adams' writing. This book reads like a first draft. I was so underwhelmed. 5 out of 10 for writing. Through the issues that I have, right? I will admit that the overall premise of this book is interesting. Pregnant hairdresser has to move in with her best friend's hot gynecologist brother while her house is undergoing major renovations right before she gives birth. You can sign me up for that. The execution was terrible. Enemies to lovers didn't really hit in this one. In my opinion, 7 out of 10 for plot. That I am no stranger to getting so mad that I have to put myself to bed before I have a chance to get madder. And that was the case for here. I just was not interested enough to work through the rage and persevere. So I put myself to bed and gave intrigue 7 out of 10. Jessie has a lot of abandonment issues. And to that I say, therapy is available. Maybe do that instead of channeling all of your energy into revenge. Logic gets a 5 out of 10. Now, I did find myself laughing at some points, mostly over how ludicrous some of the moments were, but for that, I will give enjoyment a 7 out of 10, which means that this book averaged 6 out of 10, making it a 3.25 star read. And then here we have my blanket so far.